Welcome to WagerTalk Today, the gold standard of sports betting shows where we talk the talk and walk the walk. Absolutely loaded card. Gianni the Greek is going to kick things off with a very busy Steam report. I mean, guys, we got NBA, NHL, NFL, college football, and we haven't even added college basketball to the mix. So we got a lot to go over. Dave Mason from BetOnline is going to join us, give us the bookmakers perspective, where all the sharp money is going. Joe Raineri is going to break down Thursday night football between the Ravens and Dolphins. We're going to talk Heat and the red-hot Spurs, and we'll get his thoughts on World Series Game 6. I'll close things out with props and a same-game parlay for Thursday night football. And we have the Blitz coming up right after this show. No time to waste. Please hit the like button, and let's bring in Gianni. Hello, Tiffany, in the chat. Anyone know when the prop show? We normally record on Fridays, but with it being Halloween, expect it to be up Saturday morning. Jim has a 1-year-old, so Halloween's a big deal for them, so we'll let them have Halloween to themselves. We'll get it up Saturday morning. Yanni, happy Thursday. How are you?
Never better, brother. The markets are crashing, which is always good. You could pick up some discounts. Coming off a bad beat, I had Portland minus 2.5. They won by 2. I almost bet them on the money line. Can't wait till the NBA starts kicking ass and college basketball gets here because I'm working with the same group I have college football. Excited. And, just getting ready for this weekend, man. It starts today. We got college football tonight. We got NFL tonight. I'm already in action. Game 6 tomorrow on the line for the Dodgers. Amazing what Toronto's been able to do. I have a future on Toronto to win that series. We'll see how we approach Game 6. And, of course, there's UFC on Saturday as well. So, good couple days ahead, man. Jump on board. Let's make some money.
All right, let's get into the games. It's so hilarious you say that about the market. You have the same reaction I do, which I swear we're related it somehow. Like most people are like, man, the markets are crashing. You and I are like, let's go.
I get excited.
Go.
Yeah,
this is where you make all your money.
It's not ugly enough. I want blood in the streets, bro. Blood in the streets.
All right, well, let's this is not financial advice. All right, let's get into some games. What are you seeing? Pick a sport. Let's tackle it.
NFL. Single
NFL
game.
It is.
Baltimore, Miami. No surprise. The money is on the Baltimore Ravens, and the money is on the over. Even more on the over than one-sided on the Ravens. Now, Miami's power rating is dropped significantly week by week by week by week by week. Most guys that I respect have them around the bottom 5, worst 5 teams in all of the NFL. They have the 28th most efficient defense, the 20th most efficient offense, and more importantly, those terrible results come against the 25th most difficult schedule. So this is a bad Miami team. Flip side, Baltimore, they've had the 3rd toughest schedule in the NFL, and yet they have the 6th best most efficient offense. That's dangerous for this defense on the Miami side. But the flip side of that coin is that the defense for Baltimore is horrific. 24th in efficiency. Tough to lay over a touchdown when you're, bottom of the league in defense because the back door is going to stay open. That's the fear. Like as long as Miami could keep it within 2 scores, that back door is going to remain open. And that's what always worries me when you're given more than 1 score in the NFL. Tough, though, to argue the Miami side. I think the best bet you can make right now is on Baltimore in a teaser, simply because you're able to go through the most important numbers, 3, 7, and 6 in that exact order. Those 3 are the most probable margins of victory in the NFL. So if you're able to go through those 3 numbers, you're placing a plus CB teaser at minus 125 or better, 6 points. So it's set up nicely. You take Baltimore down to minus 1.5. The only problem is now you got to find something for Sunday or Monday night. But there's plenty on the board already. There's 2.5s out there that you could tease up. You know what I mean? Buffalo up to 8, Arizona up to 8.5, Denver up to 7.5. Like there's teaser opportunities available. So I think if you like Baltimore, that's probably the better way to play it. The only negative is the high total. Again, points are worth more with lower totals. So I would have liked to see the market moving under that total, like 48 opener, if you were seeing it going to 47, 46 and a half, then it would be automatic. But I think that's the way to play it. I think Baltimore sets up nicely on a teaser tonight, unless they use teaser protection. And that's what else sticks out. Why are they not up to that teaser protection number of 9 like they did with some of the Sunday games? We saw them do it with Detroit right away against Minnesota. They bypassed the number 8 and went straight to teaser protection 9, but not so far with this game. So interesting to see if they take a position, because all the action I'm seeing, all the books I've heard and spoke to all say the same thing. They're going to need Miami tonight. They're going to need the under. It doesn't mean anything, but that's what I got for that NFL game.
I've seen this story before on Thursday Night Football. Road team, big favorite. We've seen this too many times this year. You're not fooling me. Yeah, to be teaser or nothing. There's no way I'm laying the 7.5 with Baltimore. You're right. It screams backdoor cover. Books make out like a bandit. Everyone's left holding their tickets.
Like they're up 13 in a meaningless game, right. And with 1:32 left, they're in the prevent defense. And that just prevents you from covering. That's all it does. I hate when I see that prevent. You've played great defense the whole game. You've held them to 3 points for 3.5 quarters. Why change it up now? I never understand that, but yeah.
So funny. College football, what are you seeing in the markets?
All right, college football. This is where I get a lot of pushback. And here's the beauty of sports betting and markets. We all have opinions. And rightfully so. We all should have our own opinions. But the beauty of it is at the end of the day, we find out who was right and who was wrong. Just like with the market, same thing with the betting market. And in college football, I've gotten so much pushback because I've called a lot of these top 10 teams phony based on my power ratings. I have nothing personal against it. People think I hate this team or I hate their school, or I have no love or hate for any single team in any market. That much I can promise you. I just trust my power ratings, which tell me a team like Texas A&M isn't as a top 10 team. A team like Vanderbilt isn't a top 10 team. A team like Georgia Tech isn't a top 10 team. That's how I make my money in college football. Let me give you some steam. So far tonight, not much. Here's what we're seeing. Money that came in on Marshall at the opener. Sharp guys got down at about 4.5, even 5. Public's betting Marshall at 6.5. Don't be surprised. That'll probably get to 7 because it's that one-sided. And as the money line bets come in and as the parlays come in on the money line and the teasers, they'll probably have to go to 7 there. Also getting over money in Marshall and Coastal Carolina. Tulane, UTSA. You saw sharp money come in on UTSA early in the week, that and pushed it down to 3.5. Since then, we've been getting over money. Favorite money as well. So you have a difference of opinion with sharps, Tulane and UTSA. I like the UTSA side. I think home dogs. I thought 4 was too many. Seems like the market disagrees with me, because now it's up to 6 in some spots. As far as the weekend goes, I'll shout out some of the Saturday sides that already got confirmation. 364 Utah. Utah's been getting bet, man, all the way up to even last night. One of the groups I work with, when I woke up today, I looked into the account because I give them access to it themselves like later because they're 3 hours ahead. And I woke up today and saw they bet Utah minus 9.5. Like they had bet them at minus 7.5. They had another account at minus 8.5. And then last night they bet Utah again at minus 9.5. That's why you're looking at Utah minus 10. 323 East Carolina minus 4.5. 323 Florida State. I'm bringing you that because there was pushback. Florida State got hit at 8.5 and 9. And when they jumped to 10, that's when you saw Wake Forest plus 10 short money come in. So you have FSU minus 8, Wake Forest plus 10. Shows you how tight these lines are. Drop down to UCF. That seems like a popular pick. Plus 5, plus 4.5. Miami, the Hurricanes, bounce back after losing. A few teams do that. They crushed last week. That's why they're getting love again. Minus 10, 10.5, and 11. And finally, 381 West Virginia at 2 touchdowns or better. And South Carolina plus 13, 13.5. So got some college football already. The totals today. Pay attention to odds logic. Today is when they bet the totals in college football. You could pick up a lot of information just looking at your screen. So, yeah, good weekend of college football. No like big marquee game that really jumps out. But a decent board. And we got some good bets in already.
Not a lot of NBA games tonight. We got a couple really good ones. I'll be breaking down Golden State and Milwaukee here towards the end of the show. Gianni, I don't see a ton of line movement.
No.
Maybe some on the under, Miami, San Antonio, but nothing of real note, right?
No. What I am seeing is public money on NBA today. And I think they're just, it's a small board. They're primetime action tonight. Yeah, primetime college football, primetime NBA, and primetime NFL. That usually gets the bettors excited, and they're already tying up this NBA action. Here's what they're on the heaviest. Charlotte. Surprisingly, they're on the dog there. They faded Orlando yesterday. I didn't check that final if Orlando covered, but they were fading Orlando big time, but there was sharp money on Orlando. Seems like the same thing's happening today. They're on Milwaukee, another dog, Milwaukee home dog, and the over. They're on Oklahoma City, not afraid of laying the 14.5, now 15.5, and obviously going over there from 229 to 231.5, and they're still betting it over. And the same thing with the Spurs and over. So it's favored and over in the late games. The two early games, it's dog and over. So interesting there is two home dogs with Milwaukee and Charlotte.
I can actually give you what happened with Orlando. I can't confirm this, but I just know. So Orlando's really been struggling, and there is a very popular NBA podcast that pretty much trashed Orlando, and then they went out and got boat raced last night. They lost by 19 to Detroit. Now they're on a back-to-back. So I know a lot of people. It's a podcast that hundreds of thousands, if not millions, listen to. They do kind of a little hit piece on Orlando. Then Orlando gets creamed. So you're gonna see a lot of public money fading Orlando over the next week or two. And to be honest, the Magic haven't been good. This was a team with high expectations. They're 1-4. So obviously it's a long season, but I would bet that's why we're seeing the fading on the Orlando Magic.
Yeah, and it's a team like Charlotte. It's not even like, I can see if it's the Bucks, it's the Lakers, but they're doing it with the Charlotte Hornets.
That same podcast loves Charlotte.
There you go.
They love
perfect storm
Charlotte.
for them.
I'm telling you, it's pushing the narrative.
Storm. Yeah,
it is. It's
this
pushing.
Is the whale play of the week tonight.
Yes. So, and yeah, Paul brings it up. Desmond Bane has been a horrible fit. This is a team that's built on hard defense and good perimeter defense, and Desmond Bane, not exactly what he's known for. So, Anything in NHL?
Let me see real quick. You gotta love hockey. It's one of those markets people overlook, but every once in a while you find some gold. The only thing I'm seeing is parlays on from the public. Ottawa, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, all the usual suspects, except Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's a dog getting bet. Wow, surprising. And where's that other one? St. Louis, all favorites. St. Louis, Philly, and Ottawa, Philly, St. Louis are the most one-sided. I'm talking like 10 out of 10 bets, not even 9. It's just one side. It's only those three teams. Ottawa, Philly, St. Louis, for whatever reason. They love those three tonight.
Maybe you can speak on this here, Gianni. Listen, it's your guys' money. You guys do whatever you want. Who am I to tell you what to do with your own money? Just be careful with money line parlays in the daily sports, like MLB, NBA, NHL. I have not figured out the secret to success, but I will pass on money line parlays in daily sports. I don't know what your thoughts are.
It's not the way to make money. It really isn't, dude. It's just not. It's the same thing in all markets. When you're underfunded, you're forced to gamble. And that's exactly why you're parlaying, because you're underfunded. You don't want to bet the money line straight, and you're hoping for a better return. You're already fighting an uphill battle when you're approaching it that way. If you don't have the money to bet them straight the right way based on your bankroll, then again, you are playing into the bookmaker's hands. And that's why most bettors parlay. It's the same reason a lot of stock investors use options, because they don't want to pay $300 for Tesla stock. They want to use options. But what they don't realize is that's where all the institutions make all their money, because they control what the price is going to be, and they could zero you out so quickly. And that happens over and over and over and over again, to the upside and the downside. And you see the same thing with the parlay action. Again, I'm telling you, that's what it is. And what's beautiful, not beautiful, but it's a great setup for the casinos and the sports books, because they get to promote it, and they get to put out a ticket of a guy who put $10 and won $100,000, and it's life changing, and that's enticing when you're young and looking at, I want it now, that money now, and they just keep putting in those parlays, chasing that big score. Again, man, I wish you luck. I hope you hit it, but that's just not the way to make money betting sports. It just isn't.
Yeah, I haven't figured out the secret to the success on that one. I learned my lesson years.
It's like, dude, it's like everybody keeps asking. I just got to say this because I'm tired of hearing about the fix. Like they were fixing those games. And they're like saying, why did these guys that are making $20 million a year, why would they fix the game? How would they? Why would they do it? Making 20? It's so simple. It's because it's the one bet they can win. The reason these guys got mixed up in this stuff is because they have the gambling itch in them. Like, these are guys that were already gambling. They lost betting like everyone else does. Like 99.5% of bettors, they lost money betting, but they were able to control those outcomes. When you have the power to do that as a gambler, you're going to do it. That's exactly why they did that. It was the one bet they knew they could win. Those were gamblers that found an edge. That's all that happened there. Like, it is how much money they were making. It's the fact they probably got crushed, lost a ton of money gambling, and now all of a sudden they could win some bets. That's all that happened there, dude. It's not like any deeper than that. Just human beings that saw opportunity to win a bet.
Not rocket science.
No.
Sometimes don't overthink it. All right. Gianni, tell everyone what you have up on this Thursday.
Yeah, there's primetime college football. Number one in college football. Won 9 of the 10 weeks. Looking for a big weekend once again. Starting off tonight with a 2-pack. Both games, both 4% bets. Got Saturday's package up. 4 bets already in there. Sunday's NFL hasn't gone up because, like I said, a 5%'s coming. We just got to time the line in the market correctly, but there are already 2 NFL 4% up for subscribers. So busy couple days ahead. UFC's coming as well because there's already 2 plays for subscribers. Let's just do damage this weekend and join me in the steam room Sunday. Thanks, Andy. Have a good weekend, brother. Good luck.
Absolutely. Yanni's Steam Room available to long-term access clients and WagerTalk YouTube insiders. Again, if you want to become an insider, wt.buzz/insider. $2.99 a month to get all kinds of perks, including access to the Steam Room. All right, let's keep it moving here. Dan, do we have Dave Mason, or do we just have the graphic? If we don't have Dave Mason, let's go to Joe Raineri.
Yeah, we got Joe. We need the graphic for when he comes on. You're gonna make Joe wait? Come on, Andy.
Let's go with Joe Raineri. I can't wait to talk to Joe about this topic that just came up. I actually find it fascinating. At first I was like, this is ridiculous. And I was like, well, he's got a point. We got to talk this Louisiana governor coming out and just trashing the AD. I mean, an all-out assassination on the AD of LSU. And he ain't going to be hiring the coach. And my first instinct was, oh, come on, we get this power-hungry governor. What is it his job to step in? And then I look and he's like, now we got to pay this guy $50+ million. This is the same AD that was involved in the Texas A&M. And we were talking about the buyouts. I don't know. I actually see both sides. At first I was like, this governor's insane. And then I was like, I kind of see his point. What's your take on this? I was weirdly fascinated by this story.
My take is, Andy, I want to know where the applications are to be a college head football coach, because I would absolutely throw my hat in the ring right now if you're going to ask me to leave the building 6 weeks later and give me a $50 million check. But it's interesting because Scott Woodward is the athletic director that he was referring to. And somehow this guy keeps getting a job. He screwed over Texas A&M by giving them Jimbo, and now $75 million plus later they're still paying for Jimbo, even though he is nowhere to be found. I think he bought an island somewhere in the South Pacific. We'll never see Jimbo again, and I don't blame him. But then LSU hires him. They run out of town the one true LSU guy that would have been a great head coach in Ed Ogeron, so they could go make the splashy hire in Brian Kelly. And oops, sorry, yeah, we're going ahead and we are paying him $50 million to leave as well. And then the governor blows the lid off by telling us the reason why Penn State, Florida, all of these blue blood programs are stuck paying these coaches multi-millions of dollars for years to come after they fire them. And it turns out, well, Scott Woodward and Brian Kelly have the same agent. In fact, there's only, Andy, 5 to 6 total agents in the country that represent all of the athletic directors and all of the head coaches. Do you think any of those guys are going to negotiate with their agent? They're what? I'm going to bargain against Brian Kelly's agent, who happens to be my agent, to try and get a buy down on that buyout? It's just the whole system is rigged, and it's hilarious to watch it unfold in real time. And the governor, because it's a state school, is the one that has to write that check now. It's not a private school. It's a state school, which is the big difference.
I'm with you. I was talking the other day. I was like, I just don't understand these recycling coaches. I don't get it. Like, why are we still doing this? It doesn't work. It's never
like
worked.
Having Scott Boras represent all of the athletic directors and all of the college head coaches, and that's it. So what choice do you have as a university? Because you can only deal with a handful of these guys. It's unbelievable how rigged it is.
And now, okay, LSU say, hey, we're not doing buyouts anymore. Well, other colleges are, so all the big name coaches, they're just going to go to the colleges that do offer buyouts.
Exactly.
Why would you go to
one way or another? You're going to
LSU?
have to deal with that agent who represents that head coach. So congratulations.
It's wild. I can't wait to keep tabs on this story. I've never seen a governor come out and just be like, no, this is bullshit. We're not putting up with this anymore.
Well, it's a state school. He's got to come up with the $53 million to pay him. So it's like, you got to be kidding me. Like, what are we doing here? Well, congratulations. So what happens to Scott Woodward? What are you paying him for to be the athletic director if you're bypassing him altogether and you're going to have a committee now select who the next head coach of LSU is? What a disaster.
And we all know this. You have one program that needs to operate successfully on college campuses, and that's your football program. So you cut out the legs of your athletic director on the football program, there is no reason for that guy to be around to, look over the track and field team.
Hilarious.
All right. Well, let's move on to this Ravens and Dolphins preview. How do you break this game down? My take is I've seen this recipe before. Road team, a big favorite on Thursday Night Football, and I'm not buying it. Me, it's Dolphins or nothing. What's your take on this game?
Well, you got to ask yourself. I just did the best betting show ever with Art DeCesar over at the Westgate, and him and I are scratching our head because we all know the total got steamed pretty well here. A lot of public money all week long, betting this thing up to from 48.5, Andy, to about 51.5. It might even still go higher before kickoff, he believes. We might actually get to 52. But in order for us to get there, the assumption has to be that 4 days ago, Lamar Jackson wasn't healthy enough to be able to play in that Bears game. But now 4 days later, somehow, he is going to be 100% with a hamstring injury, and he is just going to run wild on the Dolphins in a short week. Like, none of it makes any sense. We haven't seen him in forever. You don't think there's going to be any rust? And this Miami team, I'm with you. This Miami team had every reason and every excuse to quit on the season at any time here, Andy, through 8 weeks. They could have just mailed it in, and that's it. And yet, here we are. They go to Atlanta, a very good defensive team in Atlanta, and they made them look stupid. They absolutely smacked them. Now they're back home with a little momentum. And ask yourself this, Andy, if he is 100% Lamar and this is just such a given, why is this still at 7.5? Why is this not moved to 8, 8.5? Where is all the big money on the side here for Baltimore because Lamar is playing? The answer is It's not there. The public is there betting Baltimore, but that line is not moving, which I think tells us everything we need to know.
Yeah, they got Lamar's rushing total at 36.5. Don't know.
And that's all he has to. Why are you're going to design runs with a guy with a hamstring injury that couldn't play 4 days ago, but he can play now?
No, maybe one. Maybe potentially one. I kind of like the Derrick Henry attempts. I was impressed with Bijan nuked everybody's props last week. You got Bijan going up against the worst rush defense, and then the Dolphins quickly realized Kirk Cousins couldn't complete a pass to save his life, and they're like, we just got to put it in the box.
The defensive coordinator for Miami worked with the defensive coordinator in Baltimore, so it's not like these two guys don't know exactly what it is that they're going to want to run and what to do here. So it's going to be an interesting. I don't think it's nearly the blowout a lot of people think it's going to be.
I'd have to agree with you 100% on that one. All right, we move on to the Heat and the Spurs. It's amazing how these younger guys are they're so good so early in their careers. I just feel like these guys, you now know within half a season, and you've got guys like Edgecombe who looks amazing. Cooper Flagg may not be the best of those first three picks, but holy cow, you want to talk about taking the next step. Wemby looks MVP caliber already. What do you make of your Miami Heat versus the Spurs tonight?
Well, there's an interesting phenomenon happening in the NBA early on in the season here, Andy, and I heard you talking with VR there about Orlando and what's going on with them. Well, what's going on with Orlando is very similar to what's going on with Miami, only it's working for Miami. It's not working for Orlando. The analytics and the data have clearly worked its way into organizations here like the Magic and like the Heat, right? So the Magic go out trade for Desmond Bane. Why? Because they want more shooting. You know what else they've done? They have sped up, Andy. They want more shots. They want more opportunities because the analytics and the data tells them, forget about, draining the clock out in a half-court game. We want to go up-tempo and we want to score. More shots, more shots, more shots. Well, the problem is that's not working for Orlando. Orlando is chucking up shots with absolutely no idea what to do afterwards because why? They're a defensively based team. They were built to make you suffer, right? Physicality, first one to 105 wins, and that's how they have always won games. They're not doing that anymore, and they've completely lost their identity. Miami? They were a half-court team, Andy. They wanted to beat you with defense, and they wanted to slow everything down to a crawl. Not this year. Spoelstra and Riley have decided we are using the young guys. We are going up-tempo. They're number one in offensive efficiency. They're top 5 in three-point percentages. They're also top 5 in field goal percentages. This is the number one overall offense going up against the number one overall defense in San Antonio. So something is going to give here tonight. Doesn't shock me that we're seeing the total being bet down in this game because I think it's correlated. If you think Miami covers this game and possibly wins outright, you love the over. If you think San Antonio covers and wins, then you absolutely love the under tonight.
Your team has over 140 points twice already this season. That
was 130 a game.
That was unfathomable last season with your Miami.
Correct.
And yeah, I would trust Spoelstra over almost any other coach to make that transformation. So right now that game, San Antonio's sitting at minus 5.5. Like Joe said, you got some unders coming in at 231 and a half was the opening line. 228. So yeah, if you like Miami, you're going for the under. All right. We work with guys from Toronto. Joe, we're never going to hear the end of this if the Toronto Blue Jays end up pulling the comeback. And boy, what a nightmare for the US media, sports media. They go from the Dodgers potentially winning to a team from Canada winning. I was thinking about that. I was like, boy, that kills a lot of segments. All right, what do we make of this next game? We got Yamamoto for the Dodgers, Gossman for the Blue Jays. What do you think?
Well, none of this should be a shock. It's clear that the $127 trillion that you have paid to put together this Dodgers team can guarantee you maybe a trip to get to the World Series. But there's a reason why we have not seen a back-to-back champion since the Yankees in 98 through 2000 when they won 3 in a row, Andy. It's not an easy thing to do. And we all know in baseball, money doesn't buy championships here. It worked well for the Dodgers last year, but they are struggling here up against this Toronto team. They have gone cold at the worst time. Are they the better team? On paper, absolutely. But I don't know. Does Mookie Betts still play baseball, or did he retire? I'm not sure because we have not seen hide nor hair of him in this series. The Dodgers are hitting 202 as a team in this series. 202. If it wasn't for Ohtani and Freddie Freeman's occasional single, it's head scratching. 6 of the 7 home runs that they've hit in this series have been solo shots. That's it. They can't score. After that 18-inning game, they've been boat raced by this Toronto team. But I'll say this: if you're holding a Toronto ticket, right, to win the whole thing, this is your last chance to hedge here because you're never going to get the Dodgers at the price they are right now in this series. Now's your time to hedge out. If not, if I'm Toronto, I need to end this tomorrow night, Andy. I do not want to go to a Game 7 because we all know in a Game 7, it is legit a coin flip, and all of this goodwill could be for nothing in a Game 7. So if I'm Toronto, it's lay it all in, all the chips in the middle of the table to win this damn game tomorrow night.
Ohtani's got 3 home runs in the series. Mookie Betts has 3 hits.
I mean, it's crazy. And what was the big idea, Dave? You were going to spark the lineup by dropping him to the third hole? Like, you had him batting third? He should be like 8th or 9th down at the bottom until he can actually put the ball in play. It's been an embarrassment how bad he has been here.
I will tell you my favorite prop on this one is Yamamoto over 18.5 outs. I would lock that thing in ASAP. This guy
what choice did I have, Andy?
Bullpen.
How are you a minus 200 favorite and your bullpen comes in and throws 4 wild pitches in 1 inning? How is that a minus $200 team? Like, what am I missing here?
I don't know. I love that bet. I'm stunned that that's only 18.5. This guy went 27 and 27 his last 2 games.
You're
You're
not gonna
right.
have a choice.
What are you gonna do? Bowl him? No way. No chance in this one. So
unreal.
All right, Joe. Great stuff. Great take on the Louisiana Governor. I cannot wait to follow this one and get your take next week when you see what's getting ready to happen. It's going to be wild. What do you have up for everyone at WagerTalk?
Just bring back Ed Ogeron. He was perfect for LSU. He was LSU. He's one of the best recruiters in the country. Don't overthink it, Governor of Louisiana. Andy rolling right now. Number 1 in the NBA since the season started on a 7-1 run. I've got one up on the card here tonight. I've got a big 4% top play in the NFL for Thursday night football. Locked and loaded here with this Miami and Ravens game. So both can be had over at WagerTalk.com.
All right, Joe Raineri, thank you so much. Have a great weekend, Joe. Continued success in the NBA. We're going to do some free plays, and we're going to break down the Warriors and Bucks, but we were lucky enough to have Dave Mason with us, so we're going to get to Dave right now. Dave, happy Thursday. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Doing good. It's a good week. We're doing well in the props betting market. We got a couple locked and loaded plays for today. I feeling good. I woke up and there was a big storm outside, but now the sun is shining. I think it's a sign of things to come.
Did you survive Survivor last week? A lot of carnage.
No, Bengals got us. We didn't we didn't have the Colts. I didn't have I'd already used the Colts, and honestly, the only other team I was really looking at was the Falcons. And then as soon as Penix was out, you're like, you can't do that one. I'm perfectly fine with the Bengals pick. They put up 38 points against the Jets team that was awful. You needed a running back throwing to a tight end. You needed a 2-point. You needed everything that could possibly go wrong. So we did not survive, sadly. So
yeah, I'm done too. Oh well, on to next year.
Why do we do this to why do we do this to ourselves and join Survivor? Every year it's the same thing. Get your hopes up.
1 year it's mine. 1 year it's mine.
That's true. But it's just every year we get knocked out when some random underdog pulls the big upset, and it's infuriating. All right. We're what do we got? A few more days before college basketball, so we got to be in the busiest time of year. What are you seeing handle-wise? Let's start in NFL. What are you seeing for this week?
Sharp, we got the Bears -2, Texans pick, Titans +10, Raiders +3 even, Bengals under 52.5, Broncos over 39, Cowboys under 54. As far as there's a lot of lopsided bet counts, 65% on the Ravens tonight, 79% on the 49ers, 72% on the Patriots, 77% on Indy, 76% on the Lions, 68% on Denver, 74% on the Jags, 83% on Dallas. So yeah, it looks like we got some big decisions coming our way on Sunday and Monday.
I keep talking about it all show. This sets up for you guys to do really well tonight when Miami covers randomly at the end of the game. I almost want to put that in my pick 5 in the mega contest on BetOnline, the Dolphins. I may do that actually. So, what's been the World Series like for you?
It's been good. I mean, the action has been absolutely through the roof. Real satisfied with that. I mean, it's no shocker by game to game basis. We really need the Blue Jays, so it's been good. We do now need the Dodgers on the series price, but we need what is it? Well, we need the Jays on the futures. There's 10,000 moving parts. So we're just more worried on the game-to-game basis. I think now that the Dodgers are underdogs to win the series, more money's going to be piling. That's how it often happens with these series odds. It's like we needed the Blue Jays at the start of the series, and then when you can get them a plus money start pouring in on them, then all of a sudden we need the Dodgers on the series price. So right now we need the Dodgers on the series price, but that's secondary or tertiary to the game by game need.
And what's college football look like for you this weekend?
Let's see some sharp here. Tulane -4.5 and 4, Rice +14, Duke +3 and 3.5, Michigan -21, Bowling Green -1.5, Texas -1.5, Iowa State -5.5, Troy -7, WVU at +13.5, ODU -16.5 or better, San Jose State -1.5, and a ton of totals.
Anything for UFC? It's not a great card. Not a great card.
Yeah, a little bit. Dalia -16, -116, Co -176, Dolgarian -1, what is that, 93 or better, but Devaye +218. Yeah, I mean, it's not a ton has come in yet, but it'll pour in.
What's some of your favorite bets? What's Dave Mason betting?
A little bit of NFL this weekend. Texas -1. I missed the even or the pick 'em. I'm taking Bills +2 in that big game Sunday afternoon, and Commanders getting a field goal.
All right, good stuff, Dave. Are you excited for college basketball, or does that just add one more nightmare?
I'm a college basketball junkie over the years, but that being said, I'm just with the transfer portal and not betting wise. Business, I'm talking personal wise first. Just for the transfer portal and NIL, it's just a freaking. You don't even know who the hell's on your team anymore. So from a personal standpoint, it's a shame because I used to be an absolute junkie and now I'm just like, whatever. But from a business point of view, absolutely, man. College basketball is interesting. It's kind of like 4 seasons of betting. You start out, it's just pretty much, the real diehards. And of course the sharps are all over. It's, November college basketball totals is the hardest market to book all year. So that's coming our way. Then after the new year, once conference play starts kicking into gear, you get another bump. Then when football's over, you get another bump. Then of course March Madness, it goes absolutely ballistic. But yeah, from a business point of view, yeah. I mean, again, I'm not sitting behind on the stage. You ask the stage guys, and Saturdays when there's all these college basketball games and all these college football games, those guys, if you're going to hit those guys up, you better have a good reason hitting those guys up because they're working. Those are the busiest times of the year for those guys when there's full college basketball slate and a full college football slate on a Saturday. And those guys are those guys are working their ass off.
I bet. You're always a great follow on social media. Tell everyone where we can find you at and what's going on over at betonline.ag.
Yes, sir. At Dave Mason BOL on Twitter. Come on over. Betonline.ag. You don't have an account, sign up. We have great juice on, reduced juice on NHL and, of course, the MLB. I've said before, dime lines are an endangered species, but we still have them. We post some of the earliest odds in the industry. MMA, we have the best MMA product out there for that growing sport. So, yeah, come on over to betonline.ag, and we accept sharp action. So a lot of books are booting winners to the corner, and we accept winners. So come on over to betonline.ag this weekend.
All right, Dave Mason, thank you so much for joining us. Tell everyone every week I use BetOnline every single week, part of their contest. They're the first to come out with MMA lines, so I always love using them. So, all right, we got some free plays, and we've got a breakdown on the Warriors and the Bucks. Real quick, guys, I've been talking about props all week. We unfortunately lost the official client play last night. We're 4-1 this week in props, so really happy with that. And we always talk about, hey, get this play. I want to do something where I really want you guys to experience 7 days worth of props. So we're doing a special, and we're going to leave this up for a few weeks. It's 7 days, but you get NBA and NHL props. And there's a reason for this. When you see our plays, you're going to see a lot of trends where we're trying to find some streaks that we can take advantage of, whether it's supporting a player 3 or 4 games in a row, whether it's fading a team. So we want to do 7 days. We're going to do it for $69, and that gets you NBA and NHL. We're combined 58% in both of those sports last season and this season. So we hit our last NHL play. That was on Monday. We are in play with 1 play in NHL and NBA tonight. So instead of investing in single plays, we're going to do 7 days for only $69. It expires November 16th, but it's going to be up every single day. So you want to lock in 7 days, give us a shot. You'll see the write-ups. You'll see our trends. You'll see how we attack the props betting market. But can't stress enough, props is where it's at. You can make a lot more money on props than you can trying to do money lines and spreads and totals. So, all right. I know we had a question from Chris about something about doing the money line parlays. He was saying, like, what about a daily sport with the Ravens money line? I just don't put any daily sport money line. It's just too random. There's no way there's any type of value on playing like a minus 250 NHL money line. Weird things happen. Goalie has a bad night. The team just doesn't show up. Daily sports are just so much harder. The handicap money lines and the juice is so through the roof. I just make it a rule. So, yeah, well, it's just a rule I live by. If somebody else has figured out the secret sauce to that, by all means, let me know. I haven't found it, so I just go more towards the props. All right, let's do some same game parlays and free plays for tonight's game between the Dolphins and the Ravens. We're going all around the world. We got a couple plays here. We're going to start here with Tua, and this is a weird one. Over 2.5 yards rushing. I know it's terrifying, but the fact is this play is 6-2 this season. He's gone over in 14 out of the last 16 losses. So if you think that the Ravens are going to win outright, this play has hit 14 out of the last 16 times that Tua has started in a loss. The Ravens do give up 15 rushing yards to quarterbacks per game. Low total. You just need 1 to get over this one. So a prop I found on DraftKings, each team to score a rushing touchdown, that's minus 110. Both teams have allowed 10 rushing touchdowns this season. We only need 1 from each team. So, I mean, the fact is the spread's only minus 7.5. Yeah, any game could be a blowout, but this is close. I don't think either team is going to ban on the run, so we'll take each team to score a rushing touchdown. And then we'll do a same game parlay. We'll take A-Chain, 6+ receptions. We'll do the Dolphins over 23.5 on their team total, and Lamar Jackson to throw 2 or more passing touchdowns. A-Chain has 5 games with 6+ targets. The Dolphins have gone over 23.5 in 4 out of their last 5 games, and Lamar has thrown for 2 or more in 11 out of the last 12 games. I'm sad the books have finally caught on to that Lamar 2+ passing touchdowns because he was going over and the books were not adjusting the price. So that's going to be a same game parlay, and it gets us to 5-1. So there are your free plays for tonight. All right, we're going to move to NBA, and we've got a really, really good game here tonight between the Warriors and the Bucks. Let's break this down. Warriors and the Bucks. We've got the Warriors -3, and we've got the over-under at 231.5. Matchup of two really good teams. They're off to good starts this season. The Warriors are 4-1. The Bucks are 3-1, and very, very similar stats all across the board. These teams are 4th and 6th in pace. They're 8th and 9th in offensive efficiency, and they're 18th and 20th in defensive efficiency. I mean, basically, they're completely different makeups of teams, but their stats are all coming out almost exactly the same. Here's one of the big differences. Milwaukee's actually surprisingly struggling on the boards. They're 21st in opponents' rebounds allowed per game, where Golden State is 7th. Normally a team with Giannis you'd think would be better, but Miles Turner, never known as the huge rebounding force. So I actually think they take a little dip with Miles Turner in the lineup as a center or power forward when he doesn't rebound that much. Warriors, their only loss was to Portland. Portland randomly just shot lights out from the field. And the Bucks' only loss was to the Cleveland Cavaliers in a pretty close game. Warriors, they've been in very high-scoring games this season. And then comes their random last game where the final score is 98-79, where the Clippers shot absolutely horrible from the field. Meanwhile, the Bucks, all of their games have gone over the total this season. Here's the key, and this is why I'm going to go over the 231.5 despite the high total. Milwaukee gives up the 9th most points to point guards, and Steph Curry is playing. Golden State is middle of the road defending centers and power forwards. So you have two teams that are average or below average defending the strength of the opponent's offense. I like the over. I went back and looked at their matchups last year. One game went under, one game went over. The game that went under, Steph did not play. Looks like he's going to be playing tonight. So maybe a little sprinkle on the over 231.5 on this one. And again, our props special is up 7 days for $69. We're 4-1 this week. We were number 1 in NBA props last week. That special gets you NHL and NBA props. We are in play tonight for both NHL and NBA. These are plays that we bet with our own money. This is how I build bankrolls in the props betting market. So take advantage of that at wt.buzz/AL. All right, tomorrow, you guys don't want to miss tomorrow. It's Halloween. It's Football Friday. I have my costume. I can't wait for everyone to see it. There may be a couple people that don't recognize it, but most of you are going to get it, and I'm very proud of it. But more important, we're going to get you ready for the weekend. We're going to go over college football. We're going to go over NFL. We're going to go over the mega contest and the pick fives. So it's going to be a jam-packed show. You do not want to miss Halloween.
Andy, when I was recording Bet on It with
Yes.
Marco D'Angelo, Kelly in Vegas, VR, and obviously you can check that out on the channel right now. I was asked by Marco D'Angelo, hey, everyone else is wearing costumes on the show, correct? So I believe even Marco D'Angelo will be wearing a costume on tomorrow's Wager Talk Today. And you know that I have mine ready as well, Andy, and I'm excited for you to see it.
This is great. This is fantastic. This is what we need to get us ready for
my costume is a gray circle. No, I'm just kidding. I have a good one for you tomorrow, Andy. I have a good one for you.
Dan, I actually thought about what if I dressed up as somebody else here on Wager Talk and see if anybody would understand it. But I decided against that. So I'm going to do my own costume. So can't wait for Football Friday tomorrow. Make sure you hit the like button here, guys, and leave us a comment. Tell us what your best bet is for tonight. Thanks very much for watching. Let's cash some tickets tonight. Let's have a big Friday. We'll see everyone tomorrow. Good luck in your bets tonight. Take care.